Hey everybody, it's Joanna Phillips with Let's Talk About It and
Tammy Warner.
happy Wednesday. Although you won't see this until Thursday because there's no way I'm going to get this done today. So, boy, do we have lots to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not lots, actually, two
No,
two
just we
two
have a
major
lot of
categories.
thoughts.
Yeah. If you didn't get to watch the town board meeting last night, definitely worth
Yes,
the watch.
I urge you to watch it.
First and foremost, as always, thank you for hanging out with us. Like, share, and follow. We're not monetizing it. We're just trying to get more information out to people. Got a couple of things, a little bit of housekeeping first. School budget vote is the 19th, which is Tuesday, at Walter B. Howard Elementary School from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. I was a little surprised it was starting at 12, but maybe that's normal. So be sure to go, and you should have got something in the mail from the school. I got it yesterday, kind of going over everything and reminding everybody to vote. And then next up is we're going to talk about fundraisers. So Tammy and I had a long conversation yesterday in regards to fundraisers, and some very valid points were brought up in regards to we are all about supporting groups and clubs and everything, but we can't
Has to
feasibly.
be the club itself and not an individual. And
Right.
it's nothing against any in particular individuals whatsoever, but we feel that, we're constantly saying that we're about everybody. And so when we're involving ourselves in that thing, we want the whole group to benefit. And we just feel that one person, if we do for one, it's unfair if we don't do for everybody.
Right. Right. So
And
if
then
we're
we're just heading into, crazy territory with all
accused
of
of
that.
being biased, well, you did it
Right.
for them. Why aren't you doing it for me? Like the drama club, that was a group, that was not a person. Um, Backpack program, same thing. It was a group, not a person. And speaking of that, we still haven't met our $5,000 mark yet. I want to give out that gift certificate, but we haven't hit the $5,000 mark. I didn't look at it today.
So yeah, basically we just want to keep it fair and even for everybody.
Right.
That's all.
And if we do it for one, we have to do it for everybody.
Right,
And then it
right.
gets
And
really sticky. It's no disrespect to anybody. It just makes sense. It just causes less chaos for us. And it causes, I will say, maybe some less animosity of, well, you did it for them. Why can't you do it for us?
mhm, mhm.
But we support all of these fundraisers. So if we bring it up, we're definitely in support of it.
Yes, don't not, not bring it up to us just because, like I said, we will definitely put that word out there for, whatever group or club or what have you.
Hmm.
That's part of what we wanted to be able to do with this page.
Exactly. So Monday night, I believe it was Monday night, whatever day the 11th was. Oh, it had to be Monday because yesterday was Tuesday. Good grief. The communication committee
Moral
met,
deduction.
right? The communication, my husband asks me all the time, how do you not know what day it is? I'm like, look, I'm lucky that I even like know what year it is, but
I don't even know where I am,
yeah,
or
exactly.
why I am in the particular room that I'm in.
So that's questionable. So Monday night was the communication committee meeting. And it was brought to the committee a suggestion to replace Armenia that had resigned and bring on Darla Dober. And the mindset was there that, and I don't want to say bridge the divide because here's the thing, they've never said, like the town board, even when they talked about this, those words were never used. It was about communication and getting questions answered. So it was brought to the committee that maybe it would be a great idea to bring on Darla because she does represent, 40% of the vote of people.
Mhm.
And the committee unanimously agreed to bring her onto the committee, but it had to go in front of the town board for approval.
And here's where,
It gets weird. So, went through the whole, committee reports. Does any committees need action from the board? Jim Dawson, who is a co-chair with Sharon Powers for the communication committee, stood up and, asked the town, told the town board that the committee voted on it unanimously to bring Darla on board. The body language from our town supervisor, like literally was crazy.
it was like frozen. She was frozen in time in this particular.
It was obvious that she knew it was coming though, because usually she turns beet red. So she knew. Susan, here I am using names, but Susan put a motion on the floor to make the committee 8 and to appoint Darla
Agreed.
Dobert.
Yep, yep, she agreed.
Took a vote on it. All in favor? Aye. 4 people said yes. Anybody opposed? And it went like this. Me. Nay.
So that shows you a lot right there. That even when others are saying, let's try to, little by little, let's try to come together for this community, that one person is still sitting there with no.
What I
No,
don't understand is why.
I
Now,
don't get it either.
if that's me and I know my board is going to vote for this, I'd be like, sure.
Like
For
it.
optics
Okay.
alone.
I know.
But I can't figure it out. She thanks Darla for running a clean campaign because Darla did not
Oh, she
say
didn't say
anything.
anything. No,
I don't understand what the problem is. I don't
I don't get
understand.
it either. It has
I
me.
get the problem with me for sure.
It has me baffled as well. And again, I say this was just a prime opportunity where you see the rest of
Trying.
those who normally, have been following, have said, maybe let's give it a try. And not even willing to do that. And yet we had so much talk about we need to bridge the divide,
Yeah,
bridge
but
the
we do.
divide.
Those words have never come out of their mouths.
I thought it did though, Joanna.
No. There was a conversation early on that there's clearly a divide, but where this community forum communication committee has come up has never been said about bridging the divide. It's about answering
No,
questions.
I mean in general, she had not the forum. I'm not speaking on the forum. She was talking about, when the election and everything, when she was elected, she spoke about bringing us everybody to, she did speak about bridging a divide. And because that's what
Okay.
I've constantly said, for someone who wanted to bridge the divide, they're pushing it away every chance they get.
It didn't make sense to me when they didn't agree to put her on the committee to begin with. I just, in my head, again, I know what the problem is with me, and it's this, as well as, again, it's my fault that we're getting audited. Sorry, not sorry, still. Um, I don't understand. Like, I cannot wrap my head around it. I cannot, for pure optics alone, I would have said, okay,
Right.
I don't understand. And I guess I never will. So there was that. And I literally just went, when I saw that, I out loud went, wow. My husband's like,
Mm-hmm.
they can't hear you, right? Yeah. I just went, wow. Wow. I did not expect that at all. I didn't.
Especially when you're catching the vibe that everybody else, you know, is willing.
It was weird. Definitely weird. I got nothing on that, man. For optics alone, I would have said yes. Not a hill I would die on. Not that particular hill. I
No,
just
no.
doesn't make any sense. Is it personal? I mean, that's a whole nother story. Maybe. I just don't know why. I mean, but let's not forget, she also didn't want Darla in the courts either. I think that was a different reason, but I don't know. It's weird to me. I got nothing.
Oh,
New privilege of the floor policy. I will also say that the town supervisor seemed a little irritated about how that went down too.
because again, that was the board saying one thing and it was not what she wanted to hear. She spoke how she wanted it done, and she was perturbed that here the second, I will call it the second crack
Yeah, there was a
that
bigger one
evening.
than that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see members of the board speaking up, and even if you know what? You don't all have to agree all the time. You don't. If you have a thought or opinion, or you truly think, you know what? Don't be afraid to say it. Say
I agree.
something.
So the new, the policy wasn't, we read it, we read it on Monday's podcast that basically the board has the option to answer somebody but not debate. Liz
Something we've
Prabhat,
said all along is you either answer all or you answer none.
right. So, in pretty much all the four board members kind of agreed it has to be all or nothing. You either answer all or you answer none. And
Her spin on it kind of was like a little bit of that. Because if it takes a longer, well, a longer time to give an answer, the majority of the questions or the things of privilege of the floor really, aren't that in
mm,
depth
right.
where they couldn't get a response. So it's not that. She
Well, I mean, last night there
really
was quite a
picks and
few.
chooses what
Last night
she's
there,
going to answer.
right. Last night there was quite a few that were in depth that we would still be there if they
Yeah, oh
answered all
yeah.
those
Oh gosh,
questions.
yes. I was very pleased when I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, long story short, it's decided that the policy will be you answer no one. That was a little awkward last night, I will say, even, like Meg had asked a question.
Well, Meg could have been answered because basically that question was about the policy that they just put in place. That was a question about because she didn't quite understand what they meant by that. So
Well,
I think that could have been answered because it had to do with what they were dealing with right now.
well,
She
that
didn't
was Amy,
understand
but Meg
clearly.
Meg brought up Chris being the only one working in the park, and where is the park?
Right. Easy question to answer.
But the policy that was just set is you don't answer it.
Right, right. Like I said, yes, no answer. You could do yes, no answer to this, and
So maybe they amend the policy for yes, no answers and no dialogue. Let's write that down.
that's a good idea. The person asking the question could be like, this is a yes, no.
Because I will be, and you'll know why, meaning you guys, Tammy already knows. I will be sending two emails to the board today. Uh,
Lay down.
the majority of the privilege, she's talking to her dog, not her husband. Privileges of the floor last night were the majority of them were about the feasibility study in the sewer district.
Yeah.
Mine was about that. It was also about, and I will be turning these into questions to the board. Mine was the questions about the feasibility study. Mine had to do with I think March's Recreation Commission meeting. The chair of that commission said that the pavilion floor and the pavilion roof would be done before the park program got there, the summer youth program. So I wanted an update on that. The other was, 86 pages of financials. Is there one person on that board that can tell
Exactly.
us from those 86 pages what the current general fund balance shows in that report and what the current highway balance shows in that report, and then what is the actual balance? Because they really are two separate things. So, and then my third one was all the feasibility stuff. So it was just those three things. She did almost get through, and I timed it. Like I read my privilege of the floor out loud to make sure you could do it in 3 minutes. I did it in two
Well,
minutes
there
and
was a
37
moment, like I
seconds.
said to you this morning on the phone, there was a moment where she had this little pause that were, oh, I don't know what it was, but
Yeah.
I think that you should
So
have had those.
she made it almost to the last sentence.
Almost.
Uh, Fun, interesting thing about the privilege of the floor last night. Where was Mr. Modine?
Yes, that's a very big question. That, I mean, that was like, hold on. There's one thing that you can always count on is Mr. Modine having his privilege of the floor, beginning and end of the meetings, always. And especially now when you have, what he put in the advocate, there's no doubt in my mind he would have had something to say last night. So I certainly hope everything is okay. Because I was very concerned that there was nothing from Mr.
So
Modi.
there's really two possibilities, right? So maybe Mr. Modine is sick. The flip side of that is she
Not
didn't
good.
meet.
Not good.
The flip side of that is was that done intentionally? I don't know. I'm sure we'll find out because if that was done intentionally, rest assured there will be a lawsuit. And why would that have been done intentionally? Because he would have brought up what was brought up in the advocate.
Yes, absolutely. And rightfully so. Rightfully so.
So I don't know if we'll ever know what happened, but he was not part of either privilege of the floor. And since I have been watching the board meetings, in
Never.
my memory, that has never happened. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Even if it's just to have gone on and said thank you, and he really didn't have anything to say, but I want to thank the board for, what they
Like he
do.
always does.
Always, always.
So if there's anybody that talks to him, let us know what you find out. The main attraction last night, the sewer district, the sewer district, and the feasibility study.
Mhm.
And if anybody saw, I did put up a post last night. I was very impressed with Susan Tipograph, Steve Powers, Joanne Amlaw,
Mhm.
and Chris Patterson. Susan had a lot of questions, and you could tell again that and hear it. The town supervisor did not like how this was going
No,
at all.
no.
So basically, what was supposed to happen was that instead of Lamont Engineers lawyer that he had for this, they're switching it over to another lawyer. The reason that's happening is because this lawyer is a fee-based lawyer. I can't really remember what that means. It just means that it can be done differently than the previous lawyer was going to do it. So there was definitely some false information given last night. This is the other email that is going to the board today. I want those members to know that they were right and that there was some false information last night. The document to be signed last night was the contract to start the process of creating the district. But by the end of this, she had them convinced it was just about switching money. And in
Right.
theory, it was. Steve abstained, Joanne abstained, Susan and Chris ended up saying yes, but Susan was very apprehensive about it.
Mhm.
So basically, these are new septic tanks with a municipal leach field, which is allegedly supposed to be behind Coon's self storage. I want to know where these districts are, which we couldn't see the map. I mean, I would think that that map would have been part of the agenda docs, but I don't know where this district is. So I want to see the maps. Susan asked about and I have a whole bunch of notes, in which tells us why what was said was wrong. So I'll read what the big questions were. The feasibility study, we have been hearing about this feasibility study since last year. So Susan asked about the feasibility study and also where is the money coming from, right? To pay these people. That was the main question. It was also stated that the seeker has to be done before the study and that the town board is the one that paused the study. That is completely false, and
Right.
I'll get to that. Susan questioned, what if we don't get the money from the state because everything's a little funky right now? Susan had a lot of questions, and the town supervisor was visibly upset and actually said to Susan, "You didn't ask these questions about the playground and the landfill, so why now?" A little snarky. The town supervisor kept saying, "We're just approving moving the money from Lamont to Hodgson." Partly true, but actually, what you guys passed last night was the contract to start that sewer district. Susan had a lot more questions, and she kept kind of hammering home the engineer wasn't answering her question. You didn't answer my question. When are we going to get the feasibility study? And again, I will reiterate that the town board, town supervisor said that we're the one that paused that, that they're the ones that paused that. That's not true. Steve said it was news to him that this project cannot really go forward without the Tilden projects, and wanted to know if it was in writing that they would pay 50% of the cost of this whole infrastructure, etc. The engineer said no. Um, that'll be part of the petitions. We're going to talk about the petitions in a minute. If Tilden doesn't exist, it really won't be feasible to do it. So basically, I kind of have to like pull back what I said Monday.
Yeah.
So this is about Tilden. Again, I still can give cases for both, but I just
But again, like Steve had said, this is not what he thought.
correct.
So, again, take a look, people. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every moment where any member of that board stops and thinks for a moment and says, you know what? Not sure.
Right.
And wants better information. Thank you for wanting better information.
You just reminded me of something. I'm going to write that down. He also asked if the district doesn't have the money to pay for the bond or the operation and maintenance, who does it fall on? There was a little bit of
And
because
that's
basically
actually something you had said, Joanna, when we had a conversations with the maintenance and the whatnot. Who's going to do it?
right. So there was a little bit of word salad there, and the short answer from the engineer was the district has to pay it. So when that district's created, allegedly all the expenses are going to be paid for those people that opted in the district. The fact of the matter is it's the town that takes out the bond. So the board is the one that's in charge of the district. The board is the one that governs the district. And so we got the little circle thing going on there. And Steve says, you don't even have to answer that. I already know the town's responsible for it.
Right.
Town supervisor kept pushing, that's a legal question. That's a legal question that Hodgson can answer us, but we have to sign this contract. But ultimately, that is the deal. Let's just say we bill out, the district for X amount of dollars, and half of them don't pay.
Mhm.
The taxpayers that have nothing to do with it will ultimately be on the hook with that. Here was another falsehood. Joanne asked if the district is created and the town doesn't go through with the municipal wastewater, can the state step in? The engineer said no, it would just be an idle district. That is false. As we said, the state can step in and make you do it,
Right. Hmm.
and they have all the backup. CEC has been very thorough in their reporting. They have all the backup of why that would need to be done. And yes, the state will
Yep.
step in. So I don't know why the engineer said no. Chris asked if the expenses would rise over the years. The engineer didn't really answer that with a yes or no. Kind of did the whole word salad.
The roundabout.
And he said it shouldn't. And Chris said, but it
It
could.
shouldn't isn't the answer.
The leach field is most likely going to be behind Coons. I couldn't, based on his description, I don't know where the pump house is going. I thought that was weird, but I'm not sure where that's going. But the leach field is most likely going to be behind Coons. Chris asked if it would interfere with the current Coons current expansion. The engineer said he doesn't think so, but was going to get with Coons about that. This is a very rough overdraft of the questions that were asked. There was a
Right.
lot more questions asked. And all of a sudden, petitions are coming up. I want to take you back to last year where we had to do these surveys to get funding.
Right.
And it wasn't to owners, it was to anybody that lived there, including
Right.
renters. But now all of a sudden we have to do petitions. Okay. So I want to take you back to exactly what happened here. July 21st, this was at a board meeting. Supervisor Holding stated that the number seems like a big number, but she knows that there are potential grants, and the numbers have changed, by the way. She asked for a ballpark per user, annual cost for both the installation and the maintenance cost. Brendan replied, the number of EDUs as far as the different service districts play a factor into the costs. They are targeting it, the set of meeting minutes, by the way, to be in the $700 to $800 range for a single family household, which is under the state average right now. Brendan, who is the engineer, gave further explanation regarding the grants and programs that are available. Supervisor Holding stated council member Kirk has already left and she has to go. She suggested emailing Brendan any other questions and he will be getting the board the feasibility study. Should they hold another special meeting before August to do the seeker? He hopes to have the study to the board this week. Brendan went over the upcoming timelines. Supervisor Holding feels they should hold a special meeting for the August regular meeting. This meeting was all about not sending the seeker because we didn't have the feasibility study.
Right.
So at no time in this meeting did we hear, oh, well, we can't give you the feasibility study without the seeker. August 12th, the feasibility conversation was tabled because the feasibility study was not done. September 9th. Okay, and these all are also coming from the committee reports from the CAC. Okay.
Right.
So September 9th, this was basically tabled due to the wording in conflict with the engineer and the lawyer because of wording regarding those hooked up would have to pay even if there's a pipe in front of their house. And that came up because town supervisor said you only have to pay if you opt in. Peg Munoz said that's not true. So they tabled it
Right.
for a little bit. 1025 CAC report. This is the feasibility study is going to be a winter project. We need to get letters or petitions signed from the people to opt in. 1125 no report. 1225 wastewater feasibility study. Our engineer will get us the projected numbers for property owners and the full study sometime in December. 126 wastewater feasibility study, awaiting feasibility study, and we will start our property owner outreach after we get it. February 26th, wastewater feasibility study, we are awaiting the report. March 26th, we don't have the draft yet for many reasons, including several changes that the engineer needed to make, as well as some unanswered questions about the opt-in aspect that the town bond attorney disagrees with. We have previously reported that last year's household characteristics survey, our financial survey looking into the business district residential income, did not allow us to qualify in 25 for some grants for the system, right? Because There was no state grant mentioned. They were all federal. As also reported to the town board and the residents, we know from the test results we shared in the last town newsletter and committee report that there are bacterial water quality issues on the business corridor. We also know that many residents do not drink their water due to county DOH recommending that they do so. New businesses are very limited due to a lack of municipal water and wastewater infrastructure. And some existing businesses are paying exorbitant septic pumping fees. With the help of the New York State Department of Health, as stated above, having a septic study will be very useful for this effort. This feasibility study is a huge effort and a work in progress, and we hope to have more to report soon. So all until March of this year, we're waiting on the feasibility study. But yet, town supervisor said, we said, no, we do not, there's no sense in doing it. We can't afford it. That's not what happened. 426. We are researching legal approaches to ensure that any potential water or wastewater system is opt-in, meaning only people who want to connect do so and pay for the service. Because feasibility studies contain financial details, finding such an approach is a prerequisite for finalizing the study. That was also mentioned last night. So for almost a year now, that's never been said until
Right.
last month
Yep.
and then again last night. I just want to like fast forward here to a privilege of the floor last night, where a certain resident said she doesn't know why people complain about information because the information is readily available. You know, she states that information is readily available, and we're just making more work. That more work again. Tell me where any of this information is readily
Exactly,
available.
exactly.
Tell me where
There's the
any.
information we're given, and then there's the actual information.
Yeah, because clearly this has been worked on, and we don't know what the hell's going on.
Right,
Show
exactly.
me where all of the information was on the sidewalk project up until very recently. Show me where all the information is on the downtown design program. I could go on and on and on. Don't sit here and tell me that we're fully transparent.
Right.
Like, girl, come on, stop it. So that is the general gist of the feasibility study issue. But there was a whole lot of mistruths said last night.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, that board did not approve just moving money. They approved that sewer district to start. So I'll be sending an email to the board about that. All right. So what else happened? Those are the two main events. Oh, yeah, here's a big one. But anyways, we'll get to that in a minute. So they are going out for letters of interest for another alternate planning board member because the one person that put in a letter of interest, there is actually a conflict of interest. So she can't be put on the board. There
Mhm.
was two letters of interest for the ethics board. They did only choose one. Comprehensive Plan Committee, letters of interest received. Again, that's me. That's tabled until June because I'm going to go in front of that committee. It also did come out last night that per the comptroller and the town lawyer, the infamous $625,000 landfill money can be taken out of a restricted account as long as there's no money due to any vendors and use as they see fit. And that the board can come up with, and I don't remember the figure off of my head how much the monitoring is for. So cool, we have all this money now. It helps us with our budget. Ooh, not really. Not really. Because really what that does, let's just
Sounds great,
say
doesn't it?
we're going to go back to the supervisor's report this month, which ended the end of April. So we'll just stick with those numbers. We're $550,000 in the hole with the general fund. So we're going to add 625 to that. So that brings us up to We have $75,000 in the general fund now. That'll last a month. I
Once paying
don't know
our
why there
bills.
wasn't a resolution about this. Maybe that'll be next month. I would be very surprised if it wasn't recommended from the comptroller or legal or whoever that take this money out of this reserve, create a new reserve with the money set aside for the monitoring. I feel like I feel like there's part of that story missing. Not
Mhm.
surprised.
No, no.
So what is our takeaway from yesterday's meeting, Tammy?
Our takeaway from yesterday's meeting is, again, I want to say, when people who feel that we're not making nothing is happening, we're not making a difference, they're not making a difference, you are. Because last night we saw board members that normally we don't hear them question, and we heard them question, and not just a little, a lot,
La.
a lot. A lot of thought put into the questions, and I appreciate that. That's
So
mainly what
much.
we've been asking for,
So
is just,
much.
don't just go on everything because this is what was said, or this is what this person wants. You need to really be sure
Of
of
what you're
everything,
doing.
because again, it affects all of us. You're up there, it affects you on the board, but it affects all of us. And you're up there to help make decisions for this town.
And the taxpayers.
Right. And I appreciate what I saw last night. I know that the supervisor did not appreciate what she saw and heard last night. But, I think maybe
That's
it's
the
a
way it
little
should be.
exactly, and I think it's a little bit of something that she should have gotten a long time ago. And, she's there to work with, not work them.
And again, as she said, she doesn't spend the money. The town board spends the money.
Right.
I am so proud of our four board members last night. So proud of every single one of you. I know I can be an ass. I'm just telling you, I am so proud of our board members last night.
Like
The
we've said
four.
in the beginning, none of this has anything to do with the left or the right. What we are simply about is whether it's right or it's wrong.
For the
Simple.
taxpayers.
Period.
And that is what that group focused on last night. How will this affect all of our taxpayers?
Right. And how is it going to affect us down the road? That's one of the main things that's really, I feel, been neglected. I'm putting up to, what is all this going to affect down the road?
To our
When
future generations.
person's gone and no longer there, what's going to happen then? It matters. It matters.
My takeaway is the same. I'm so very proud of those those, and not that they give crap if I'm proud of them or not. I think that they did their job last night.
And the
And it was
privilege of the
so nice
floors
to
were great.
privileges of the floor were amazing, minus Mr. Modine.
Right,
That
exactly.
so I don't know what's up with that.
Nope, want to get to the bottom of that.
I think it's a shame that our town supervisor could not get her out of her own way to bring her opponent
I know.
onto the communication committee for no, I don't understand it.
Very bad look. Very bad look.
Again, I get why they don't want me. I get it. Like.
Especially in the climate we have now. That's a bad look. Especially when everybody else on the board was willing to say, you know what? Let's
Let's
give it a
do it.
shot. Yep, let's do it. Let's give it a try.
I'm almost inclined to believe that last night's meeting may bring a lot more people out to the community forum next Thursday.
I hope so.
It's not sure. I'm not sure. I can't even believe I've got to be out of the house twice next week from at night on Monday night and like Thursday night, which is also my daughter's birthday. Uh, I cannot praise our four members of our town board
Nope.
any. Good
It
job,
felt
guys.
like an evening where there was actually
Thought.
really good thought interaction going on with the, it just felt like the board was alive. It wasn't just Joanne, God love her,
It was
just there
people.
being
It
the
was
only
actually.
voice that questioned,
It was
it
actually people being people.
exactly.
Yeah. And like I said, not that they care what we think, but I'm so proud of them. Is there anything else we got to cover? Let me just check my notes. The ARPA money was brought up last night by Meg, but of course nobody could say anything.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything that had any importance.
Okay, okay.
So until next week, if I hear anything about Mr. Modine, I'm for sure will let everybody know.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I just I don't hope that he's sick or anything.
No, no, no.
I just hope that
It,
that wasn't some sort of retaliation.
right. Uh-huh.
We'll find out. I'm sure he'll
That would
write a blog.
also be
I'm sure
very,
he'll write a
very,
blog about it.
that would be a wrong move.
Yeah. So I think that's it. That went pretty well. Should be
Yeah,
a fairly easy edit. I have a lot of stuff to do today, so doubt it'll get up today, but we'll try.
Thursday. Well, anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. I don't even know what
It-
the weather's supposed to be like.
it's supposed to
Next
be
week.
nice this weekend. Actually,
Is it? Woo!
it's going to be close to 80, which now I'm thinking is going to be,
Oh,
we complain that it's cold, we complain that it's hot. I have gardening to do, and I'm like, I'm going to
I'll
die.
take the 80 day. I need some good, even the hot flashes are like, oh yeah, lady.
Yeah, right.
We'll see how you feel come that 80 day.
Exactly. So if you made it this far, let us know. Thank you for joining us. Reach out with any questions, which, as a matter of fact, I got a message from somebody yesterday talking about how good my mom was. I need to respond to her. But we love you guys. Stay tuned. Tell us what you think. We'll see you next week.
Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.